Joe Ibukwe joins us now. He's a former public relations officer, spokesperson for ACN in Lagos. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the good thing, Godwin Azikiwe did say, President of Akai Ikenga, that yes, they met with Lagos and they're all looking at the way forward now. Well, yes, indeed, all of those previous opinion issues, misconceptions, prejudices, he says, they move beyond all of those. What's the latest from your perspective?
Well, I acted as an arbiter, and I'm still acting as an arbiter in between Lagos and my people. And I undersure them that government is for everybody, and that I have been here for the past 28 years. And I've been in government for almost 7 years. So I know my people, I know what they do here. I know them very well, and I don't want the boat to be rocked. I don't want problem for my people. I don't want people to begin to make provocative statements to see if Fashola does not like our people. I've been here and I know it all. And that's why I'm speaking out. Yes.
And it's important that that is said because, I mean, we know how easily politicians could latch onto this. And before the people on the street actually knows that the matter has been settled. But then it did afford the states and perhaps other states who engage in such to re-examine the modus operandi of agencies that they set up, because they talked about KAI and I can't remember the other one now, in terms of how they operate. You think this window is something that you could also re-examine?
No, because, you know, when people are used to certain situations over the years, you think it's a way of life. It's been difficult telling people that you cannot do one way. You cannot drive against this traffic. You cannot sell on the highway. These are things people have been used to over the years.
And that's the law. The law is actually
yes,
there.
the law is there. If you don't have laws, there will be chaos. Decision will be chaotic, and people are finding it difficult to abide by these rules. The moment I don't want to share my experience. A book will not be enough for me to share my experience in Lagos over the past 7 years. The moment I sit in my office, by 7 o'clock my phone would have started ringing. I was driving to so place and I was arrested, and because I'm an Igbo person, you know. And by the time you get there, you find out that it's a lie from the pit of hell. Sometimes I have even paid for them just to go. I cannot recount. You know, is it the markets? All the markets are in crisis because of leadership. Some people are elected to be there for 4 years and they stay for 8 years, 12 years, they don't want to go.
I know it's tough, it's not that easy actually.
So I know it all. Nobody is going to tell me about it because I have been involved sometimes in the movement of markets, sometimes in the settling of the issues and crises, and I know the difficulties.
If I remember properly, there was a time that I think the Lagos State government, while it was addressing some of these agencies, including LASMA, they talk about the way they operate. It means that it has also come to him because some of them actually lay ambush for you and not just make sure that, look, they're there to ensure that you just obey the law to the best of your ability. And so the way they go about all of this, how is that now? Do you think that is something that you're still looking into in terms of how they carry out some of these things? It hardens the people more sometimes.
As I speak to you, it's all reorganizations and retraining and has been going on. Once you have 100 people with uniform, you must have miscreants among them, or people who don't do the work the way they are supposed to do it. You have to know that, and you yourself will not want to play into their hands, assuming somebody lays ambush for you. If you're by the rules, nobody's going to disturb you. But it's about that I just parked. I want to change my tire, and they just came. Did you park where you're supposed to be parked?
But again, some of those things.
I try to imagine. I use the Ikorodu Road every day. I stay in Adelabu, in Surrey, and I use the Ikorodu Road, and I see these things, and I wonder what Lagos would have been without this.
Well and fine, yes. So if you let me come in here, people would still, because I still want to go with what the president of Akai Ikenga said, and we have actually seen how some of these people are picked out of the streets. The thing is, then some of them are not tried. And he's just talked about the issue of having illegal detention places, taking them to some places, not trying to get in touch with some of them, and some of them having phones and their phones taken off them by the time they have been arrested or picked out of the street. That is what people still find baffling. Why would any officer do such without recourse to the due process of that law?
You know, like I said, people will tell you all kinds of stories. Let me tell you, there's no detention center in Lagos. What we have is rehab centers. I know that. And it's not set up for anybody. The law is not set up for my people alone, Igbo people in Lagos. It's for everybody. You need to see what they have done to the area boys of Lagos. How they have evacuated them out of the street. Some of them found it difficult to continue to stay in Lagos and they moved to other states because you have to abide by the rules. It's a serious job. You know, people must, you know, people in government see what ordinary people cannot see. We see the problems.
On this matter, for instance,
Yes.
now, the crux of the matter, did the state government get in touch with any of the families of those that were taken home?
Families. These are not ordinary people, you know, people that are conscious like you and I. These are abused people, mentally, you know, retarded people. Some of them are incoherent. They tell you one thing now and then. So you just speak them. Some of them are even unable to speak. So weak they have not eaten. These are not ordinary people.
So how did we then find out their state of origin? Because they were picked and they were incoherent in their speech and in their communication. How did we arrive at where they're from?
When you pick them, some of them are very weak, they cannot, but you put them in a place, rehab centers, and you leave them there, clean them up. It's a serious job, but people don't know it. Clean them up, feed them until they're able to talk. Until they're able to talk. When we talk about this, it looks as if it's only in my place. You know, when you make noise without, I'm a writer, and when a writer is silent, it's lying. People have been taken to Molete in Ibadan, Osun State, in the states in the north, even Anambra State. And why this one? Is it because it's because of politics? You know, there must be a red line somewhere where you have to stop.
I think that, you know, before we approach the political side of things, one has to look at the facts of the matter. Even if a state government says that our policy is to make sure that people who are mentally challenged are not on the roads, and we're taking them to rehab centers, and we want to reunite them with their families, and we call the state...
That is the word.
Exactly. The word. And then we write to the state government did not respond as they should have. Is it proper to now take these people who you know are already mentally challenged and go and drop them in the middle of nowhere? That is definitely not appealing to anybody, regardless of where they are from. It doesn't appeal to the humanity, does it?
If we pass these people almost on a daily basis, you just drive your car and just go away. Nobody talks about, nobody even looks at them to see whether it's their relations. Nobody. If Lagos had taken them, you know, you drop one person in Ogidi, drop one person in Onitsha, drop one person at the bridgehead, or, you know, people would just be doing their own business. They got attention because they were put together in a place.
So it is actually true that, you know, these people, 14 or 72, whatever
12,
the figure,
14.
whatever the figure we decide to go with, were just dropped, from what we read, 3 a.m. in the middle of the night.
Everything is politics. Everything is politics.
So it wasn't...
I am from Newi, 15 kilometers from Onitsha. You can move from Lagos by 5 a.m. and get to Newi by 12, depending on what happened on that expressway. That expressway could be closed for 6 hours if there's an accident, and it happens every other day. And you get there. You see, people think that we are just being human, that we just took that Lagos just took those people as animals. But Fashola will not. Let me tell you, Fashola will not drive the vehicle to that place. Fashola will not drive the vehicle that will pick those people to that. He did not drive. He delegate duties, and somebody can fail in his duty.
So there was a failing in this.
I said somebody can fail in his duty.
Was there
but
a
the
failure?
important thing is that those people are getting attention because Lagos State government started communicating with Anambra State since April. I have the records.
This year?
This year.
Yes, since April.
For this particular case?
For this particular case. I don't know whether you're aware of it.
No,
It wrote three or four letters to an Anambra liaison office in Lagos. And if you have an Anambra liaison office, it's as well as an Anambra State government.
I think that the Anambra liaison office actually replied to that particular, because I think we've seen the letters you're talking about. We've seen that they also replied. But we're saying that, assuming, even if the Anambra State government did not come eventually, and you had to send them, or they were pressing you to reunite them with their families, is it true that the Lagos State government, or whoever, the officials of Lagos State government, people who were asked to do these things, took these people and dropped them at 3 a.m. on a bridge and just turned back?
We don't know the time. The people were dropped there, but nobody will tell you the time. If anybody is saying it's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. because he wants to play politics, we'll leave it that way.
Yeah, but
I tell you, there's a limit to what we can do.
How about handing them, for instance, assuming...
If there was correspondence.
Exactly, there was correspondence. How about taking them to the Anambra liaison office, for instance, one here in Lagos, or even taking them to a government office in Anambra State, for instance. If,
to ensure proper handover.
Exactly.
Well, I've told you, let's not belabor this matter. Probably somebody did not do his work very well. And if somebody did not do his work very well, we have to take responsibility.
Yeah, but we have to be sure the person didn't do it well to correct it in future.
No, that's what I'm saying. This kind of thing will never repeat itself again. Everybody would have learned the lessons.
Hopefully, because...
As I speak to you now, a building was brought down in Onitsha. There was no court order to that effect. Somebody became the accuser, the prosecutor, the executioner. But what has happened to the rights of ownership of property?
It happens in all over the country.
That's what I'm saying. Because a state must decide
that's what governments now do.
What decide what to do? Sometimes you have...
Maybe we should